Welcome back to Loose Toss, the comedy podcast with the most sauce.
Drip, drip.
I'm Willie Griswold, joined as always by my friend Colin Unger. Colin, what do you have to tell the people today?
Existence is pain.
There we go, baby. That's a fucking intro.
I'm back and I'm burning the world fucking down.
Whoa.
Yeah. Like the Joker, baby.
Yeah, okay. The Joker, baby.
I'm the Joker, baby. I'm gonna blow up a hospital.
That's a classic
Dressed
YouTube
as a
video.
nurse.
Gang, this is episode 12 or 13, and this is the second episode featuring comedian Sam Miller.
Sam's... I wish he was the voice in my head. And it sounded like his voice, because I love his voice.
He's just the most beautiful. I've made an Instagram post before we finished the episode, which is probably stupid, because the thing is that you want to post to Instagram when it's already ready to go out. I posted it 30 minutes ago. Sam is gone now. He's heading to Janesville, Wisconsin for a comedy show tonight. But yeah, basically I got so excited about us being with Sam, I wanted to make the post before we even released the episode.
Believe it or not, Willie did something prematurely once again. A little too fast for everyone else involved.
First off, me coming fast and Sam being our guest has nothing to do with each other.
I also felt bad because I love Sam and he's like such a truly like just one of the purest souls. And
Beautiful.
your post was like a very heartfelt post.
Yeah,
and
I called him a wrecking ball of emotion and joy and laughter, I believe.
And he called that out. He's like, that was really nice. I appreciated that. And for some dumb second, I was like, thought he was talking about me. And then I felt bad because I was just like, Sam's really cool. Listen. In the photo, I look insane because I truly just rolled out of bed and then came here.
Yeah, buddy. Thank you for getting out of bed and coming to do the show this morning. I appreciate it.
Let me tell you, there's nothing harder than getting out of bed right now. Logged a lot of hours staring at the ceiling, not blinking.
But now you feel fine because we just had a lovely conversation with Sam Miller.
Well, I did talk to Sam after and just so briefly, like 5 minutes about stuff I'm going through. He's like, can I give you a little Sam Miller advice? I'm like, yeah. And then he's like, just act, don't think. And I'm like, I'm going to cry.
If I could say something also, that advice does mean nothing.
Yeah,
that doesn't mean anything.
For some reason, it means everything to me right now. I don't know what the fuck is going on with me. I might be pregnant.
This is coming out today, the 21st day of February. Don't know why I said it that way. Tonight, Sam's going to be in Janesville, Wisconsin. Tomorrow, Thursday the 22nd, Humboldt Jungle in Chicago. I'm being there. I'm being there.
You're going to be at Humboldt?
Yeah, I'm just going to go hang out. I want to see Sam. And then this weekend, the 23rd and the 24th, will be at the Jukebox Comedy Club in Peoria. You can get tickets to all these shows at sammillercomedy.com. That's SAMMILLER comedy. COMEDY. I just realized those are 3 words that you don't really need to spell out.
.com.
.com. Thank you for that, the clarity at the end there. But yeah, Sam Miller is one of our favorite guests. We have so much fun talking to him. It starts off really dark. It starts off like tremendously dark and weird.
But he makes it positive.
He makes it very positive. Sam, there's a point in this episode where Sam talks about, I don't want to butcher it, you can just hear it, but Sam talks about how he used to have, an unfortunate situation. He was homeless, but he wouldn't admit to himself. He would just tell himself that he was crashing on his friend's couches or living in a car, and it wasn't. And the amount of positivity
makes me feel like a real piece of shit.
He's like a champion of the human spirit.
I'm just like, I can't find anything to watch. I want to die.
Yeah, dude, if I had to go through the adversity Sam did, Sam went through so much adversity and it turned him, like the pressure turned him like a beautiful, funny diamond. If I went through that adversity, I would just be selling pills.
Yeah,
I would just be like, I'd be running a sort of pharmacy thievery operation.
Yeah, we wouldn't be here.
No way, dude.
Yeah.
We are not.
He's a stronger man than us.
Say what you will about us. We're not great at persevering through adversity.
No, we crumble.
We crumble. We crumble in the face of the...
We crumble and want someone else to fix it for us. And no one has. And things are just progressively getting worse.
No, please, guys, somebody...
Help.
Fix.
Sam, the second Sam left, we fell apart.
Oh, we started crying. Colin... dude, that was weird. I was gonna say Colin tried to kiss me. I don't know where that came from.
Well, you're projecting what you want, and that will never fucking happen.
I don't want you to kiss me, but it'd be nice to have just a moment of emotional intimacy with my friend.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm
about to fucking throw up.
I'm not saying
I'm about to give you the kiss of death.
I'm not saying I want to hold your hands. I'm just saying that I think that we should be able to like look at each other in the eyes, have conversations.
No, I don't do that with anybody. Eye contact.
Yes.
What are we in love?
Yesterday, you got in my car and you immediately go, dude, you are down bad. I was wearing Colt sweatpants. You go, if you are ever wearing sweatpants with vertical writing, you are down. And then I just go,
no, gray sweatpants with vertical
and I
writing.
go, dude, you're wearing gray sweatpants and a Carhartt. What are you talking about? And then you just go, oh, really? You're going to start fucking negative right away. You're starting fucking negative right away. I go, buddy, you gave me this.
I'm projecting. I'm not bad. What do you want from me?
Nothing, dude, but you served it up to me. I just fucking...
And these aren't gray sweatpants. These are Fabletics.
Oh, I tell people about your Fabletics plan.
Oh, man.
Here,
Fabletics
let me just do this. Yesterday, Colin told me I'm trying to change up. I had some investments from 3 years ago. No big deal. You guys thought I could lose money gambling on sports or gambling at the casino. I lost $2,000 gambling in the fucking stock market. Yeah. My grandma told me to get into stocks like 3 years ago, and I got a bunch of stocks and safe things like Nike and Apple and Amazon at first. And then for some reason, I was like, you know what I'm going to invest in? Allbirds, the woolen shoes you buy on the internet, and Sweet Green. I got them on their IPOs, and I lost $2,200. And then Colin yesterday, we were talking about stocks, and you just go, you should buy stocks in Fabletics. And I go, why? And you go, because people always start their subscription and forget to cancel it.
I don't know how fucking stocks works. I assume if a company is making money, their stock is going up. Why is that so crazy?
I don't know, but it's just funny that you thought that.
Is that not what happens?
But I'm pretty sure it's just how many people are actually buying.
Yeah, you just lost $2,000. You don't know how fucking stocks work. Oh, no, goodness.
I'm not saying I'm an expert, but just the idea that you think that a stock would do well just based off the idea that so many people
poor people are getting scammed. Crazy. Yeah, I got into Fabletics. Fuck capitalism.
Don't make this a bigger thing about capitalism, which, by the way, you don't understand either. I don't understand it.
I'm a communist.
You're not.
Help me. Help me. No, fuck Fabletics. Fuck you, Kevin Hart.
Oh my goodness.
I saw a deal. 2 pairs of shorts for like $20.
Yeah, it's a good deal.
Good quality shorts. Yeah. I got them. Didn't know I signed up for a membership.
Yeah.
It's like 70 fucking bucks a month. Missed the second month, so I had a credit. So then I got this exact shirt in white.
Wait, are you Fabletics head to toe right now?
I mean, pants and shirt, yeah.
You are a stay-at-home dad. Yeah.
I mean, I'd be lying if I didn't love it. They're comfortable. I feel fabulous. What else can I say about that? But financially, they have ruined me.
Yeah.
Multiple at $70 a month. Really takes you down another tax bracket.
For a subscription activewear.
But I liked it. I liked the stuff. So I'm like, oh, I'm not going to cancel the subscription. I'm just going to like pause it. And I did skip it. Skipped a month. Next month, got charged. Didn't know. Didn't keep enough eyes on my bank account. The month after that, I got charged again. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I have 2 member credit points. And then that's when I got these pants and this shirt.
And in your head, you're getting ripped off.
And then I thought I stayed on top of it. And then guess what? I got a new pair of pants coming in soon. And I'm going to cancel the membership because you have wronged me for the last time, Kevin Hart.
And
Fuck
in
you.
your head, you think that Wall Street guys are benefiting off of you not canceling. You think the $25.95 you pay a month goes directly into some Wall Street guy's pocket.
Well, it's not 25. That's why I thought the stocks were skyrocketing because it's fucking like 60, 70 bucks. This outfit is expensive as hell.
Oh, my God. Do you remember when we lived together and I did a quiz on Facebook and it was like, what kind of chocolate do you like? Do you like oranges or limes? And I accidentally signed up for a wine subscription service.
We kept it all year long.
And remember we were just like, this will be great. We'll have 1 bottle of wine with dinner each week. And then the very first box came and me and you drank 4 bottles of wine. Oh my God!
And then you ate all the cheese.
I don't remember. Oh yeah, it came with cheese.
Because I didn't like cheese, or I don't like cheese. And you just, dude. That's a real sad look. 2 lonely open mic comedians just downing wine like they're drinking a water bottle, and you're eating cheese alone.
Well, and if we're like 29 and 30, if we're our current ages, it kind of makes sense. But we were like 22 and 23.
Yeah. We don't learn from our mistakes. We do the same advice where we act and don't think, but it's always the same acts, and we wake up and we're like, what have we done?
It's the exact same action.
Yeah. But we'll get some funny stories about it. We'll tell that on stage and then lose money calling an Uber to and from the shows.
I think that's exactly what we're going to do. Folks, please enjoy our episode with our favorite comedian, Sam Miller. Probably the funniest guy that I know personally. I think you guys are really going to enjoy this episode. Stick around at the end. We got a 3-piece intro, me and Colin. Piece number 2 is us with Sam. 3-piece, just come on back. We're going to be doing plugs, letting you know where you can find us in Chicago, in the Midwest. We got a run coming up through Columbus, Ohio, through Indianapolis, through Southern Indiana. So, yeah, stay tuned. Here's our conversation with Sam Miller. You got any thing for him, Colin?
Please help. Drip, drip.
Negative self-talk and a misunderstanding of identity. And now I live in a van down by the river.
I've been there. I lived in a Chevy Celebrity for a while.
How long, right? I guess that's the first place to start.
That's ironic. Wait, are you recording?
Yeah, we're recording. We're not going to go in. We're not just going to go in. I just wanted to know.
No, you could. I think that's a good way to start a podcast.
I lived in a Chevy Celebrity for a while.
Yeah, and I just always thought it was ironic because, like, all the other celebrities, they're like living in houses.
Is a Chevy Celebrity a big car?
It's like a mid-size sedan. It's not very nice.
So it wasn't too comfortable?
Yeah, I think they stopped making them. It's a silly thing to call a car. Especially it's just like a regular car.
Yeah.
There's nothing special about it.
This thing is nothing like Brad Pitt's.
No.
This thing is nothing like Leo or Margot Robbie.
No.
I like this could be funny maybe. This is just like a premise. So I guess now we're just doing a little writing circle. It's like celebrity news, but it's not People magazine. It's just news about the Chevy Celebrity.
Yeah.
Stripped down cars that got
In
robbed.
celebrity news, Sam is sleeping in me. He has relapsed, and his life is falling apart. This once promising comedian has fallen on hard times. Oh, look at that. He's blowing a guy. Jeez. Sam,
I love that for your journey, buddy. I love that for your journey.
Sam used to headline. Now you're just giving head to a guy in a Chevy Celebrity. This has been celebrity news.
Now you're just giving head to a guy that gave you lines.
Yeah, exactly. See? That's how it goes, man.
That's a pretty fun trade-off.
That's the natural progression. This got dark right out the
That's
gate.
showbiz, baby.
That's
Let's
showbiz.
go.
That's just celebrity news, baby. That's how we fucking do it.
I don't know if I talked about this. People don't know I've been sober 15 years, and it's funny because people will watch me do an hour of comedy where probably 10 or 15 minutes of it is me talking about how I'm in recovery. Mm. And then immediately after the show, they will try to buy me shots.
Yeah.
I was just
so
going to say,
funny.
there's like an American stat about with presidents. Almost the guy that wins is the person that people would more likely have a beer with.
Yeah.
And I feel like I might have the want to have a beer with face. You have I want to do shots and go on a bender with face.
Yeah.
You've got I want to party with this guy till fucking Tuesday.
People say that until they see me party, and then they're like, "Oh, cool." He's like huffing spray paint.
What have I done?
This is weird. I think I'm gonna call an Uber.
just some fucking CPA has to go back to his wife, and his face is just covered in light blue paint.
I'm like,
The show was great, baby.
I'm naked in a tree. They're like, this is taking a weird turn.
Naked in a
Did you?
tree.
Is that a thing? Would you get up in trees? Did we talk about that?
Oh
last?
yeah,
You
no,
were
I
a
talked
tree
about
guy,
that.
right?
Well, I talked about it. That was one of the big ones that I did the first time I was on Bob and Tom. Was I did when I was 19. I fell out of a tree, and I hurt myself really bad. And then I woke up in the hospital, and the doctor knew me, and he was like, "Sam, I think it's time for you to make a change." And I was like, "You're right." I was like, "I got to stop climbing trees. I got this tree problem." You know what's funny is when I did that the first time I was on Bob and Tom, I did that joke. I did that story, and I'd never done it on stage, and I wasn't planning on telling that. There's things that I kind of have, not to pull the curtain away too much, but there's things that I had planned that I wanted to talk about on Bob and Tom, and things that I knew were funny. But the Here's Good, which kind of blew up.
I love Here's Good.
And then the...
Colin, do you know Here's Good?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Here's Good's a fucking
But
classic,
it's so funny
baby.
because that shit is stories that I tell, me and my friends tell each other.
Yeah.
But it's not like bits. It's not it's more like lore and recovery stuff.
Yeah.
Than it is jokes. But I've messed around with it on stage, and the same thing with falling out of the tree. But to me, it just doesn't really feel like a joke because I didn't that's not its origin. Its origin is like way before I ever did comedy. I told that story, you know. And there is some stuff that is from there that I do on stage, but
dude, it's so just like the idea of like, yeah, I used to only climb trees on weekends, and then sometimes I wake up and I'd climb a tree before work. And sometimes like I feel like if I was going to a wedding, I had to climb 5 trees.
Well, that whole
I hate
thing.
climbing trees for my wife.
I went up that tree because I was at this party and this girl Cameron showed up and I owed her money. And like I knew she couldn't get up there. So like that's why I climbed the tree. Because I owed Cameron $20.
It's like when you're getting chased by like a bear.
Yeah. I was funny. I remember going up the tree and I brought beer. I was like, I need something to do in the tree. I'm up there, I'm smoking a cigarette, looking down at Cameron. I'm like, man, she's got no idea. I was like, I might be the smartest dude in the world.
You're just making bird noise. You're like, ah!
Yeah.
You heard the quote when they go low, we go high, and for you it was just about getting higher in altitude.
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny because a friend of mine like last week, it's like a friend from my high school I've known since I was like 12, sent me a clip of you from Bob and Tom, where Willie's dad was like, "What was your drink of choice?" And you were like, "Meth."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh yeah, dude." I was like, "Sam's the man." He's like, "You know him?" I'm like, "You don't follow my career at all."
I reposted that video, and it blew up on Facebook back in the day, but then I think it wound up at like 2 million on Instagram.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Hitting a mill on Instagram is wild.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that I've ever had get over 10,000 likes on Instagram. It's not even my post. On Benedict Belizzi, who's an indie-based comic, super nice guy.
Oh yeah, he's real hot.
He's so hot.
We did a thing together
Oh,
in
for
Indy
real?
one time. Yeah, I got to meet him. He's a nice guy too.
The thing about Ben
he's
is
such a good dude.
And I've told him a version of this. When
He's
I saw
hiding
him,
something. You can't be that hot.
No, okay, that's what I thought. When I saw him at first, I was like, this guy's too handsome to do comedy. And then I met him, and he's just a lovely fucking delight to be around.
He was just raised really well.
Yes.
And then after Willie's like, "Let me see your penis."
Let me see how
It's gotta be small.
No,
it's
I
gotta
didn't.
be small.
I just asked to touch his abs. I wanted to smell his
He's
pecs.
probably got a cool wiener.
But it's probably, dude, it's probably fucking sick.
I hope it's
probably
messed
fine.
up. I hope it's messed up.
Yeah.
You can't be that hot. I hope it's messed up.
But Ben posted a video at the store. He's like, hey, what is this? Who's buying this? It's a video series he does. They're very funny. And it's like they'll have ice cream that's flavored like mac and cheese or a ranch seltzers or whatever. And he had one, and it was Sunny D made a seltzer product, like White Claws made by Sunny D.
Oh, wow.
And he was like, who's buying this?
That's real?
It's real. And then the comment that I wrote, which was just a joke, was I said, I'm about to be getting Sunny DUIs all summer. A lot of fun, right?
Yeah.
But people got mad at me and they're like, you can't make jokes about drunk driving. And I was like, no, I kind of can. I just kind of did. That was a joke.
Yeah.
But then that post, things that I write for hours, things that I've like tried to learn how to video edit, stand-up clips, podcast clips, those will all peak at like 300 likes or whatever. That fucking comment got 14,000 likes.
Dude,
That's
it's
crazy.
So funny,
Sunny
man.
DUI.
I hate that because like a lot of our friends will have like a clip pop off, and I'll just like comment something I don't even think is that funny. I'm just like trying to boost their post, really, and then I'll get like so many notifications. I'm like, I'm popping off. I'm like, nope, they are. I'm just an extra in this.
It's the caption contest that's most of the internet.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh wow, we could probably like solve economic strife in the world, and everybody's just like DUIs.
You're kind of popping off right now, the egg video. You want to talk about that?
Yeah.
Your TikTok about sending a man an order of eggs?
I didn't send him an order of eggs. I sent him one egg, one over medium egg. Last time I was in Spokane, Washington, I went out to eat with some comics, and I was like, it'd be really funny. What if people send each other drinks and stuff? Like, what if I just sent somebody an egg, and then they found out it was me, and I kind of tipped my cap, and like kind of like a power move, and I went for it about 4 days ago. It was a Saturday night after a show. I did a show in Post Falls, Idaho at the Draft Zone. Great venue. You'd like it. And I went to the Denny's, and there was nobody there. So there was no anonymity because it was just me and this other table. It was like a bunch of comics. And
Would you have liked the anonymity? Would you have preferred the idea that it could have been anyone in the Denny's, or did you want?
I think
your
it's
flowers?
funnier when they're like, "Who did this?" And you're like, like the tip of the cap. You're like, it's me.
Like you're Michael Caine at the end of Batman.
Yeah.
You just see
Yeah,
him
you
across
see
the
each
red
other.
truck, you just nod your head and drink your tea.
Yeah. And I knew that it might be funny, and I had my friend Josiah Carlson. He's a Spokane comic. I gave him my phone. I was like, let's just video it. The waitress was really into it. These people showed up. I sent him one over medium egg, and then he had a couple. His girlfriend, I think his girlfriend's mom, was there with him, and
you didn't send the ladies an egg. You just sent
no,
one
I
egg.
just
to
sent one egg for them, and whoever wanted it could have it. I was like, send an egg to that table, and it's funny because they're like looking at it, and you could see him trying to figure it out, and then the dude, he turns around. And he's like, he's like, F yeah! Like he was drunk, and he was like, he was so pumped. And then it's funny because we filmed the ending part, and I'm just like, he's just really happy. I didn't know what would happen, and the guy was just really happy. And I went over and I told him, I'm a comedian, and you care if I post the video, and he didn't care, and. Yeah, and it blew up it's funny on Instagram and Facebook, it didn't do anything, but it's like at 1 million on TikTok right now, and it looks like it's probably going to wind up. I've never had one on TikTok go up like that. The only other thing I ever had blew up on TikTok was like crazy crowd work video that I did.
Which it is the same that you have like so much good material about recovery that you imagine you work on forever, and then the shit that really pops off is just crowd work and eggs.
They love crowd work on
dude,
TikTok.
TikTok loves crowd work. I've had stand-up videos pop off on all the platforms, but my TikTok was dragging, and it's cool because it was like a strategy. I'm like, I wonder if I did this stupid video, if this would get my stuff rolling on TikTok again, and it did. So yeah, I had a theory, and I did an experiment, and it paid off, and people really like it. Send somebody an egg. So
That's science, baby.
I hope this is what gets you JFL, or this what gets you like a TV show.
This industry's stupid enough to where that might be what happens.
Honestly, yeah.
Like it really is. Like the comedy industry as a whole is the most. Because people I remember when I started, it was like you get started and you meet all these comedians. You're like, oh, these people are all weird and broken and beautiful and just awful and wonderful and like all this shit. And then you meet like the owners and the bookers, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
I thought these comedians were weird. And you're like, oh my God, like, oh.
They're so weird, dude.
Yeah. I feel like comedians are like mutts, like we're kind of like these like shelter dogs, But then club owners are like purebred, but they're like there's stuff wrong with them, It's like bad hips or like astigmatism or something.
Yeah, you look regular, but you breathe funny. Everybody can tell that you breathe funny.
Club owners are Cruella de Vil. They're just trying to take from the poorest people in the world.
Yeah. By the way, I'm kidding. I love all the owners. Please book me.
Yeah.
We love them all.
We'll send you an egg.
Well, speaking of your videos, the first video I ever saw you was you at Humboldt Jungle. And it was the video, I saw it this morning. You're talking about how you fuck big.
Yeah.
I forget exactly how you say
God.
it. But you use this, you go, I'm like a truck coming down from Vail, Colorado down to Denver.
Yeah.
And I remember it because I saw it and then I didn't think about it. And then on Bob and Tom, one morning, I just fucking ripped the line. I said Vail to Denver, and then it clicked in my head, and I was like, oh shit, who was that guy? And then I kept scrolling, found you again on the For You page, and then I watched a bunch more of your videos, sent one to Jess. And
No, I heard you and Jess were sending videos back, and that's how I first got on the show.
Dude, it was so funny.
That video, so is at the Humboldt Jungle, where I'm at this Thursday, the 22nd, in Chicago.
This comes out on Wednesday, so tomorrow night. No, it's okay. You have to do this part.
No, Thursday in Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thursday. It doesn't matter. I meant Thursday the 20th. But yeah, I recorded it down at the Humboldt Jungle, and it's so funny because Nathan, who I just did like a guest spot, but they videoed it, and I killed that shit because I was at the Laugh Factory that whole week. But that Thursday night, they had a headliner show, some other headliner who was like brought his own feature, and I couldn't get on that show. So I was like, what else is there? And then Joe, the bartender there, hooked me up with Nathan, and anyway, I wind up there, and they got the clip. They put it on their Instagram. He didn't even realize that the Facebook was connected to the Instagram.
Sure.
And he was like, "Can I post that video?" I was like, "Yeah, do whatever you want, dude. Whatever. The world's on fire. Post a video." You know. And
I got kids, man. Do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I'm in a tree. Stop bothering me.
Leave me alone, man. Yeah. I'm seconds from relapse. Yeah.
I got my eyes on a Chevy celebrity on Craigslist right now.
There's already a fella in there waiting. Yeah, this guy in there's loosening his belt. So post the video. You know, yeah, go ahead.
God, please post the goddamn video if it's the last thing you do. Oh, that's so silly.
And then, but yeah, he didn't realize it was connected to his Facebook. He posted on Instagram. It goes on Facebook. And then I'm literally like, just, you know what's crazy is I was at Legoland. I was on vacation with the kids and my wife. And at this point, I had been doing comedy full time for probably like 6 months, 7 months. I don't know what the whole timeline is. And like, basically, my career was dependent upon T-shirt sales. Like, if I had like a couple weeks, bad merch weeks, I'd be hurting, you know. But I was making it, you know. I always figured I was like, I gotta try to make like $800 a week, because that's what I was making at my other job. And anyway, I got a message from a friend. He's like, "Dude, I just saw this video on Facebook of you. It's great, man." And I was like, "What?" And because I hadn't posted anything in a while because I wasn't really working at the internet stuff back then. And then, long story short, like, I looked that day and it was at 2.2 million. And then I think 4 or 5 days later, it hit 7. It was at 7 million, and then I think it wound up like a little over 8.
That rocks.
Yeah, and it did. And when I say like it changed my career, it changed my career. And the funniest thing, and I think you guys will appreciate this, it's one of the dumbest jokes I've ever wrote. If you want to talk, I don't know how much like inside comedy you want this podcast to be, but like jokes have premises, setups, and punchlines, right? And like basically, like the premise and the setup are inextricably linked. Where I'm like the premise is, oh, wouldn't it be funny if I pretended to be a semi-truck while I'm having sex with my wife? And the setup is an impression of me having sex with my wife. And by the way, the joke's way better now. I've been working on it for like a year or 2 years now. Now it's got like a whole bunch of other tags and stuff, including I gotta get this load delivered. Which works great.
I think I've heard a newer version where you say Jake break or air break.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
hey, it's absolutely. But real quick, how does your wife feel about this joke getting so popular?
She doesn't care.
Yeah,
she doesn't
right.
Care.
That's cool. She can't.
You know what's
that's
funny
cool.
is my wife, like, the one joke she didn't like is I had this bit about, because I met Brittany when I was homeless, and I didn't tell her. Because that's a deal breaker.
Yeah. You gotta play it cool for a while.
Yeah. And I always, in the joke, I'm like, she let me move in after 2 weeks, which isn't true, but that's how I remembered it. So like, that was a thing that bothered her because it made her look like she was like just going to like a shelter and picking up dudes or whatever. Because in reality, like, I was over at her house a lot, and I did move in pretty soon. We got a place together pretty soon, but it wasn't just like 2 weeks. But like, I was like living on couches and stuff when I met her, like, which I didn't even consider to be homeless. I didn't even think, there's a lot of times where I was homeless. Like when I was living in a car, I was like, I'm not homeless. My home is this car, you know, or like living in abandoned houses without power or water. Like I was like, I'm not homeless. I'm just living in this really shitty house who has an owner I do not know. Like, I'm living in Mysteryville.
Dude, the power of positivity.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. You're just like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I just have an absentee landlord.
It could be worse.
He runs a loose ship. What do you mean?
I got a laser disc player, Playboy. I don't know what you're complaining about.
Yeah, I don't know who lives there. There's a box of porn in that room. And I don't go in there.
There's a pill drawer. That's fun. Got a bunch of different pills in there.
Dude, you want to hear something gnarly?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Living in this abandoned house, bro. I had this BB gun like with one of the CO2 ones.
Yeah.
And there was these huge rats in there, and I was always worried they were gonna chew on me while I was sleeping.
Naturally, yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'd do is I'd get like some popcorn, right, and I'd put it in a bag in the corner, and it was pitch black. There's no lights, right. And what I'd do is I'd wait till I heard something rattling in the bag, and then I'd shoot the bag of popcorn, and I'd wake up, and there'd just be bloody popcorn.
Oh my god, dude! A rat hitman.
Dude, it's pretty bad, dude. I'm glad you're getting so much shit. It's such a
I'm not
gnarly
homeless.
story.
I got roommates. Look at these
Yeah.
dead rats.
Because I got fired from the Forest Service, so I still had a lot of my Forest Service gear. So I had like this mummy bag. So, like,
What's a mummy bag? What's a mummy bag?
A mummy bag is just a sleeping bag that like it just goes. All that's left is like your face.
Oh,
like a
okay.
mummy. And I'd tighten that thing up, and I'd be like, "Come at me, bro."
Oh my god!
I love the idea of you like still dressed as like you have the like forest hat, like the shirt, the shorts still, and you're like laying like a sniper with a BB gun waiting for the rats.
Dude, I remember. You know what's weird is like I'd have these moments where I'd be like, I was like, I don't think I'm doing good. Like I don't think I'm doing well. Like this isn't a good life.
And then
You know.
take out a few rats and just forget the
Oh,
difference.
dude.
Doing better than the rats.
I'm not even like it's worse stuff than that, man.
I like, hey, that's Sam Miller. He can take a rat out. You know the popcorn method that Sam Miller kid
Yeah.
had.
You got rats? I know a guy.
I know it.
It
There's
was so nasty.
some suburban housewife thinks
Oh,
the regular
God.
exterminator's coming.
It honestly still makes like even as we're sitting here telling that story. The first time I told you, I didn't think about it, but now I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about the sound of those rats in that bag of popcorn.
Couldn't even imagine, dude.
And it's hard because I'm in that mummy bag, so I'm just like. And it was hard to get the gun up and out.
You're a big guy. You're a big guy.
Dude, that's like an old movie where you see like a gun, like a mystery where a gun just slowly comes out of the shadows. It's like boom, boom, and then slowly comes away.
Yeah, because one of them CO2 was I just like pop, 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 pop like that, and then and I couldn't. I knew I could make out the bag. There was like this white blob that I was shooting at.
Oh man, there was one time it was I don't know if you know these guys, Jeff Asmus, Tucker Brookshire, and Greg Kennedy. Tucker and Jeff are both in New York now, but Greg's still in Chicago. But we all lived together, and then Greg was visiting home. Tucker was like with his girlfriend, and I get a text from Jeff being like, "Boys, I hate to say it, but I think we have rats." And Jeff was like,
man.
Jeff is such a good comedian, so smart, but also an absolute fucking idiot sometimes. I'm like, Jeff, we don't have rats, dude. And I go down. He's like, I swear I heard it over there. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm not hearing anything. And then I knock on the like ceiling, and I just hear like like scattering. And I'm like, oh my fucking God. I did like all caps text and email at the same time to my landlord being like, we need backup.
Oh man.
We both slept with knives. I watched a documentary about rats.
What?
Made it worse.
Why'd you watch a documentary?
Because I wanted to learn about my enemy.
Also, was it a documentary or was it just Ratatouille?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah,
I'm like, I'm going to become such a good cook after this.
He watched Stuart Little.
Yeah. I'm like, look, he's not that bad. Let's adopt him.
Yeah. Let's get him little cars.
We gotta save up for a remote control.
He's
boat.
scary now, but if we put a sweater and glasses on him, he'll be adorable.
That
But
remote
yeah,
control,
it was terrifying.
The remote control boat scene in Stuart Little changed my life. When I was a kid.
I could do
I
anything.
really wanted to get out of that. Sam, you're heading to Wisconsin tonight, right?
I was just there in Wisconsin 2 weeks ago in Eau Claire.
It's
The
perfect. for you.
drunkest show I've ever seen.
Oh, dude, they party up there.
I heard that Wisconsin has like the most drinking ever of all the states. And I was like, whatever, we'll see. You know, they haven't met the likes of me.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I bring my own energy, and I got there, and like everybody was wasted.
Everybody was in
They were
trees.
very polite, though.
Super nice.
Yeah.
It was fun.
And then the cheese curds and the brats, just the burgers up there. The food's incredible.
Dude, I don't want to hear about it, dude. My tummy right now.
Oh, for real? I'm sorry, buddy.
Shit, you just thought of brats.
That's the last place you should go right now.
No, I'm gonna need to go to Salad State. and or like
What's a salad state? New Hampshire?
L.A.
Hawaii.
Cali.
Two states in a city.
I said L.A.
Yeah. No, that's dude, I'm pumped, man. Like honestly, since the last time I was on the podcast, things are continuing to like kind of grow. I'm just
Fuck yeah, dude.
along for the ride. I'm going through a point in my life right now where I'm realizing that I draw a lot of like my enjoyment from life from like success and stand up, and I'm realizing that like I can't do that. Like I have to make sure that like I'm finding joy in other places, including like I'm doubling down on my recovery stuff right now because I'm at like a critical juncture, you know, where I feel like things can go either way.
It's like when I'm on the road, it's like tough for me to like, oh, I'm going to try to get a salad on the first night so I can eat healthy. I can't even imagine what it's like fitting in meetings and making sure that I just can't. Good for you, dude. That's impossible.
Yeah.
Well, if, you know, I'm not spending the amount of time I used to spend like chasing drugs, like it's not that hard for me to fit like a meeting in here or there, or like to make a phone call to some like sober buddies and stuff. It's pretty easy. And it's something that it's something too that even this morning, you know, it's like I get to see parts of these places that nobody else does, you know, and I can't go into like specifics, but like basically when I'm on the road and like I go to like support groups and things like that, like those are folks that are actually like from those places. Like I'm not like I'll go to places and I'll do touristy stuff. Like I'm thinking about going to Milwaukee after we record today.
Yeah.
And like I'll go up there and go to the beer factory or whatever. Brewery, that's not what they call beer factory.
Beer factory.
The brewery. As some of you say brewery, as I say beer factory. Yeah.
When you can't find a word, one time I called, I couldn't think of napkin, and I said, where are those really small towels at?
Yeah,
It's very
yeah.
fun to just try to figure.
Dude.
My dad called an air fryer a wind cooker one time.
Oh, wind
Yeah,
cooker.
it's fun just to cook and figure out what happens.
Yeah, I had my friend accidentally parked in a disabled spot the other day, and I couldn't remember the name for it, and I was like,
Buddy, tread lightly
hey,
real quick.
No, I will. No, I was like, hey, that's a spot for people that can't walk as well. They're like, what? And I'm like, oh, it's a disabled spot.
I like how you
I
say
got
to it
nothing but love. No, that's really what I said.
as well
That
as a real
happens to me all the
sailor.
time.
Oh yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I have a lot of friends that.
Don't walk as well?
Yeah. That's like the worst thing to say too. It's like it's cool. I got friends that are disabled, but like I know. You know what's great? I actually, as big as I am, I have a hard time in the regular sized bathroom stalls.
Yeah, buddy, that doesn't surprise anybody, man.
Yeah.
I got that immediately.
Yeah, and
I have a hard time in there.
And I like the handles.
You,
Not that I need help getting up. It's just like
yeah.
just-
Grab the side,
just
let the lightning
riding
ride.
it. Yeah,
They're all just shaking.
I like the handles.
The stall next to you is like, what the fuck is going on?
It's like that scene in Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
He's like holding his coffee and it's like quivering. This bastard.
No, I do got weird bathroom stuff though.
You do?
Yeah,
here.
Buddy, you can
yeah.
hang out as long as you want after. You can use the restroom again. You can take a shower if you'd like. We're here for you, pal.
I'm good.
Do you not like using public bathrooms, or does it not bother you?
I don't care anymore.
I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah.
Do you have a rules of the road? If you've got a rental car, you're in the Midwest, do you have a few places you'll go to?
You know, a lot of times I'll just find like I go to coffee shops that are a little out of the way.
Yeah,
But dude,
Panera.
oh man, there's these drives I do because like when you're a comedian in the West, you know, like I'll go down to like Medford for a weekend, and that's like 7-8 hours.
Well, that's the thing is like
You
in
know.
Chicago, it's like we're hour from Milwaukee, 3 from Indy,
I know.
7 from Nashville, 5 to Louisville. You guys are like 5 from anything, basically, like, right?
Yeah, well, Seattle. So Portland's like 2 hours. Seattle's like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
But all the other stuff is like at least 3, and oftentimes like I went to Post Falls. That's like 5. You know, that's 5. That's an easy 5. And yeah, and sometimes so I'll have like these like 8-hour drives and like drink like 3 cups of coffee, maybe some like greasy diner food, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
I'm like 3 hours into that drive, and I'll pull into some tiny town somewhere, and I find like this little coffee shop, and I order my coffee, and I'm just like, oh, can I use your bathroom? And I know what I'm doing. I know. And then
some little girl with blue hair looks at you crying. Hands you to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Sure, sir, go ahead.
yeah, and then I take a mental note, and I was like, I can never come here. This is, I don't know.
You
And
always
sure
ask-
enough, I come back a week later. It's boarded up. They have crosses out front.
How people put in like tags on maps
Yeah.
of places they visited.
Yeah.
There's places you can't go back because
Yeah, a
you
bunch
shit
of flowers stacked up against the front door. I'm like, oh yeah.
I just like the
It's
idea
done.
you go to these little coffee shops and you get the little punch cards, so every
Yeah.
10th cup is free.
Yeah.
But you just use them to track where you cannot return to.
Yeah, I should,
Don't go
yeah.
here. Don't go
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Don't go
I have
here.
strings and like a map on like a cork board. It's like a beautiful mind. Like these are the places.
Just as a series
No,
of...
I try to tell people I'm not trying to be gross, but like I'm 360 pounds and like I'm 6'6" and like I'm a human being like you guys are, but I'm also different. Like
built different.
the amount of like food that I take in and like the shits that I take
Yep.
are not like other people.
Oh, no, I feel that.
they're like wild, dude. Like, and also I do cardio now all the time, so I've been doing cardio twice a week, and like I feel like my body is like this weird machine now, where I'm just like, just fuel in, fuel out.
Yeah.
I feel God, dude.
You gotta get more fuel in you,
My
dude.
my bathroom lately, I'll like go to the bathroom. I'm like, I need to make changes. I'm like, this is
You
unhealthy.
drink a lot.
I've been drinking less.
Yeah.
There was a period where I was definitely drinking too much.
The beer shits will
The
get
beer
you.
shits are bad. But then it's like, I was just talking about this. I went on a big burrito kick where I'd like go do it. And that's another thing about comedy is like you'll go do a set. You won't be drinking when you do a set. You'll have a good set. And you're like, I'm untouchable.
Yeah.
I just crush. I'm not going to be hungover. I'll have 8 beers and then order a burrito for when I get home and then wake up and just be, it looks like there's a dead rat in my corner from me finishing my burrito. Like, I'm done. And just launch it.
Just leave me, boys.
Yeah.
Go on without me. You're talking to no one like a band of brothers. That's fantasy.
My flight landed at like midnight last night, and I stayed over at Humboldt Jungle or whatever. And I went to one of those I got a couple hot dogs and some fries. God, I bet that has a lot to do with it. And that breakfast sandwich we did this morning probably
Oh, yeah.
didn't help.
You're gonna be shitting, pal. I'm
What'd you
sorry.
guys get this morning?
The place that you don't like. You know what's fucked up, and I'm gonna get angry about this.
What?
Colin doesn't like eggs at all.
You don't like eggs?
I
dude?
got food poisoning from it once and I was just never able to go back.
Do you know how
I had a really
restrictive?
bad omelet.
It's so restrictive on the road for.
Do you think I
breakfast.
want to be like this?
Yeah,
It's
that's
easy. It's
that's
protein. It's cheap.
That's
Don't-
the podcast you should do is trying to get you back into eggs.
Yeah.
Just me dry heaving every
Be
episode.
a whole that could be a whole Netflix.
But I'm not like
thing.
picky. It's like I'll try. Like I've eaten lamb brain. I've
Yeah.
eaten rattlesnake. Like
You could be like that lady on Maury Povich that was terrified of olives. Did you ever see that?
I've seen the one where people like can't
Yeah.
eat fruit and they're like, "Ugh, ugh."
No, there's this one where like this lady was on Maury Povich and they like she's terrified of olives and they promised her that they weren't gonna have any olives there. And then she's like in a chair and Maury's like, by the way, we got a surprise for you. She's like, it better not be olives.
So they bring out a jar.
Out this jacket, and I'm like, what do you expect? What do you expect?
Maury
Yes.
just takes his martini and takes the toothpick out and
Yeah.
it's an olive right off of it. Blue cheese.
I love the like a evil villain turning around in a chair and it's just a jar of olives.
What's the worst? Like the idea of like just what kind of egg scares you the most? Like just like sunny side up, classic.
Runny scramble.
It's really I'm. All right, and I guess now that we're going there, I don't like the runny eggs, but it's like I work at like a bougie brunch spot. Like it's like seeing eggs isn't bad to me. Like the smell isn't great to me, but like just eating them, I can't. I've tried so many times.
When I was a kid, I struggled with eggs too. The only way I liked them was hard boiled.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom and dad always did like poached.
Sure.
And I hated it. And then one day, I don't know, something like popped, and I was like, oh my god, these are amazing.
kind of the same thing. Like I didn't eat eggs as a kid, and then I had like a scrambled egg sandwich. I loved it, and then
Colin, Sam changed. You can too. You just need to spend a little more time in trees. My friend, you got to get back to your roots.
I just come back covered in mud and like a full beard. I'm like, I
Just
like
be glad
eggs.
just be glad you're not a tree snake. Starved to death. That's what they eat.
Yes.
Wait, what?
Those
Tree
tree
snakes?
They eat eggs.
Oh, really?
Eggs and frogs. I saw it on a nature show. You know what I'm talking about?
I do a little bit,
Yeah.
but I also feel like when you're hanging out with your cousin that's in 3rd grade,
Yeah.
and he just runs up to you and he's just like, "Do you know that Paris is the only city built with a total grid?"
Yeah.
Just with fucking random little facts. All right, you guys. Sam is going to be in Janesville, Wisconsin tonight, the 21st. Humboldt Jungle in Chicago tomorrow, the 22nd. This weekend, Jukebox Comedy Club in Peoria.
Oh, hell yeah.
Peoria. There's a place there called the Country Club. It's not a bougie place. They serve chicken wings. It absolutely rocks. You got to hit that up. There's another place called Hoops, and they serve pizza till 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
I love it there. You can also gamble there.
Last time I was there, they just opened up a steakhouse that's open until 4 a.m. And that was a pretty interesting spot.
Podcasting with Willie is such a treat because you're such a pro.
Yeah.
And you do radio, and you've been doing it a while.
Oh, dude, I thought you were just going to say food stuff. I
No,
thought you were
no,
going to say you're
no.
such a pro and where you get to
Yeah.
eat restaurants and stuff.
That
It's
is
just
true,
funny.
though.
I appreciate anybody who's like passionate about what they do and like people that are good at stuff. Like I have friends of mine that are like really great poets and really great painters, and I hang out with them and like we talk about like I try not to just hang out around comedians.
Sure.
Because like the same thing you did, I have issues with that too. Like if I hear something, like I'm like a sponge and
Yep.
I'll spit it back out. I went through a kick where I was listening to a lot of Norm Macdonald.
Yes, dude. And
And
then your
then-
cadence kind of had a little bit of this coming out.
Well, I was doing this like throwaway, like kind of aside he does, and he goes, which is fine nowadays. And like I still use it in one joke, but like I realized that I was doing that and that was like a thing that I picked up from him.
Well, I mean, that's also like, which is fine nowadays, is also like, not that there's anything wrong with that from Seinfeld. Like, there's always these kind of recurring themes that come in and go from comic to comic. I don't think that's a direct ripoff.
No,
but yeah.
it's not. That's why I'm comfortable doing it. There was a time though that I talked to a friend of mine and we like had a conversation and I lifted the conversation and turned it into a joke 5 months after that.
Yeah.
And had no idea that it was a conversation that we had. I thought it was just me thinking in a car by myself. It was funny because it's on the album and he's like, dude, you know what's weird? And he knew it too because he knows how I operate.
Sure.
And he didn't feel any way about it. He could care less. And it wasn't just his thing. It was like our thing back and forth, and we were riffing about COVID stuff and how it's on the album, but that where people are like, and by the way, I'm not telling anybody what to think about COVID. I always put this out there. I don't care what anybody thinks about COVID. I also don't care if you care what I think about COVID. I'm like done with that right now. But the controversy or whatever.
Yeah, 'cause you kind of look like you yelled at a gal on a plane and your mask was below your nose. And you were like, don't tell me what to do.
No. I took it seriously because I worked at a homeless shelter
Oh, of
during
course,
COVID.
of course, yeah.
And what's funny is I heard this from the news and I heard this from like friends of mine, but then I watched it like tear through our shelter and like and I lost people to it, and so like I don't know. But anyway, the thing is like the whole people being like, oh, I don't trust the vaccine, and me being like, well, I used to smoke meth out of light bulbs. I think I'm gonna be okay. Like if that's my line, I'm like, whoa, easy there,
Yeah.
Pfizer.
If a doctor that understands mRNA made this,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure that the stuff that my friend Scooter made was
yeah.
probably a little bit less good than that.
Excuse me, you don't even have a face tattoo? I am not putting that in my body.
But to go back to the pro thing about like me being able to get plugs, it's because like even now, like not being on Bob and Tom, just being here, I still have like whenever I do anything, there's still just like my dad's voice in the back of my head being like, make sure people know who the fuck you're talking to and where you can see them.
Yeah.
And you can find them at sammillercomedy.com. Miller has 2 L's, baby.
I was talking about the cough button, too.
Oh, really?
Like, that cracked me up.
That's
man.
a little. Well, it's also a
Yeah.
luxury that I have and you guys don't have. I'm right next to the
Wait,
mixer.
did you do one? I didn't even notice that.
Yeah,
you
if I
did
push
that.
Is there a
little
fart button?
They're actually, we have my cousin Pat burping, I think.
Oh, really?
Did that go through?
I can't hear
it's
it.
not on. 1, 2, 3. Yep, there it is.
Yeah,
You
that is it.
couldn't hear it. So yeah, thanks, Pat. We love you, buddy. We appreciate you helping out with the podcast today.
I heard it through your guys' headphones.
Hell yeah.
They've had a lot of budget cutbacks, and I don't have headphones.
Willie's sitting on like are you on the bucket?
He's on an ottoman.
Yeah, I'm sitting on an ottoman. You guys
Yeah.
both have chairs. Usually we sit on buckets.
Yeah. And you have to hold your.
Yeah, hold it, buddy.
This podcast is really bad for posture.
We've had a lot of
Yeah.
budget cuts.
Times
lately.
are tough all around.
Yeah.
Welcome to Biden's America. Is this what you want? You happy?
If Trump gets elected,
Yeah.
we'll all be able to afford mic stands.
Yeah.
Do you remember when Trump was president? He had a chair.
Yeah.
Colin had a mic stand.
We were sitting on poor people.
Yeah. I was sitting on the backs of the working class.
All right, you guys. Sam
That's why
Miller.
I'm voting for Air Bud. Again.
I'm actually voting for Young Sheldon this year.
That was the bit you said about a bit. I had this bit about how people always ask me who I voted for, and I go, I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I'm an ex-con, you know? And I go, I voted for Air Bud. Yeah, we'll build a wall made out of sausage. Hashtag sausage wall.
Oh my gosh, I do have one friend who's like crazy political, and thank goodness he can't vote. I mean, thank goodness that guy went to jail.
Yeah.
Oh, he went to jail?
Yeah,
I
oh
can
yeah.
vote. I don't got no felonies. A lot of
Nice.
states, I think, is he in Illinois?
I don't want to say what state he's in right now because
Oh,
I'm already
okay.
getting a little close to the edge here.
Yeah,
so I'm
yeah,
just gonna
yeah.
hang out and not say his name or anything about it.
He's just listening to the
Yeah,
podcast
Willie,
in
stop
jail.
talking about your serial killer friend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
never say that about Dylan. Sorry.
Yeah, Willie's friends with an active murderer.
God. By the way, I wrote down at the beginning because you sent somebody an egg. I wrote down Sam Miller, or from seagull eggs to sending eggs. The Sam Miller story. 'Cause
God.
The whole seagull eggs part of your history that we'll let people just Google. They'll figure it out. Whew. All right, I'm good, dude. I'm like exhausted. That was
Dude,
so
how
fun.
long was this?
We're going 40 minutes. We're just gonna do the whole thing.
Oh, that was fast.
This is going to
okay.
be it. We'll do a brief intro, brief outro. We'll hit your plugs again. SamMillerComedy.com.
Dude, my
Janesville,
tummy's
Wisconsin.
starting to feel better.
You feel better?
Good.
Sometimes
Comedy
I just
comedy
needed
cures.
a laugh.
Yeah, dude. That was fucking silly, dude. There was a few times we were kind of going there for a while. It got real goofy.
No, it was good.
And we had fun little serious moments, too. It's good when there can be peaks and valleys. And God, that was so fun.
Well, yesterday, me and Willie were both going through it, and we're
Yeah.
like, we need some soul food. Let's get some wings. We'll work on the podcast. We got nothing done for the podcast. We ate some wings, but wings are healthy. They were good. We watched some movie. We
I'm gonna
watched some
get-
TV.
I've been getting real emotional lately because I've been going through some shit.
Yeah.
I lost a good friend of mine, and like the shit that we get to do, that being able to sit in joy with like comedy's brought in like so many like beautiful, interesting people into my life. Like I was really happy that you guys wanted me back on the podcast because it's fun to sit here and fuck around with you guys.
Anytime, dude.
You know.
Yeah, and
'cause-
the clip of you saying that Colin looks really...
I'm always about to sigh.
that's
that's our best clip.
Not to take away from that serious moment.
yeah.
We kind of need you,
We
Sam.
kind of need you here. Make sure, tell Colin he looks like a sad Renaissance
Yeah.
painting.
I'm
man.
not doing great. Go in. Let it rip. I'm sad.
If we get Colin crying, we might break a million views.
Rules.
Oh, yeah, you could probably make me cry pretty easily right now.
All right, let's call it a little sad note right there. Thanks, Sam.
Yep.
Drip, drip.
Drip, drip.
My tears.
Well, we did it again. They thought we couldn't do it, but another perfect episode brought to you by the Loose Talk Boys.
We got him.
We got him.
Drip, drip.
Watch this drive. I'm stealing your lines now.
I mean, that's Bush's drive. You can't ever recreate how amazing that video was.
That moment brought this whole damn country together. I'll tell you that right
That's the
now.
reason we started this podcast. He said, "Stop terrorism. Watch this drive." Ripped it. And I was like, I need to save America with my thoughts.
Can you think of any notable DUIs? I'm trying to think of people that have gotten in big DUIs. Just them saying, "Watch this drive" before someone hands them their keys.
I was like, but doesn't Bush have a DUI?
He had one back in the day,
Yeah.
yeah. I think Cheney did too.
I almost said McCain. No, he didn't have a DUI. He was dealing with other stuff.
Yeah, are you kidding me? That guy was a fucking hero.
he was. Can't drive when your fingernails are getting ripped off.
Jesus Christ, bro. The guy was a hero. He's like,
I'm just saying what he did that made him a hero.
Unilaterally, like the only American politician in the last 2 decades that's not at all controversial. Everybody fucking loves John McCain.
I didn't say anything wrong with it. Like,
God, that poor bastard, dude. Could you imagine his whole life? It was just like, hey, you're from Arizona. The people there love you. You're a down-the-middle Republican. Voters are going to love you. And then he finally gets into an election, and it just happens to be the most historic election of all time against an incumbent black president. Yeah. And he had to be like, look, everybody, no one saw that coming. Yeah. Nobody fucking knew that was going to happen. I love that clip of that old lady being like, Barack Obama, he's a terrorist. And he just takes the mic. He's like, no, he's not. He's not a terrorist. He's not. He's a good family man. Oh, God, what a good guy. That never happens anymore.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have said the fingernail thing.
No, it's fine. I think that it did come from a place of reverence, but yeah, a completely inappropriate joke to make.
I mean, you know what? I'm going through the little torturous things myself right now.
Not the same, buddy. You're not a prisoner of war. Not the same at all.
Me just being depressed. It's like, I'm going to be president.
Thank you guys so much for listening. We got 5 more minutes of the podcast, and with those 5 minutes, I'm going to tell you guys, you can find me this weekend, the 24th, Saturday at the Story Inn. I'm going to be featuring. The next week, not next week, sorry, next week, I kind of robot beatboxed there. I'm going to be at Kokomo, Indiana with Greg Hahn. That is on March 9th. And then the week after that, I have a series of Chicago shows. Zanies and Old Town and Lincoln Lodge. Colin and I also have a big show coming up together at the Lincoln Lodge on March 2nd, Sautéed Stand-Up.
Is that week?
It's not. It's next weekend. We haven't told you guys about this. We did a burger competition. We won it. It was a cooking competition. You have 50 minutes to cook. Each comic does 10 minutes and then cooks for a half hour. Me and Colin beat a couple other comics making cheeseburgers with my secret recipe. And we don't want to.
Came out swinging.
And we did come out swinging. I don't want to leak this too early, but I think we're going to do a double snack wrap this time.
I like that.
Big Mac snack wrap.
I mean, snack wrap's coming back, so we got to put it on the map.
And then I think that we just need to up it up a little. We need to zhuzh it up a little, make it a little fancy. On the Gordon Ramsay show, they always call it elevated. And I elevated it.
I say, oh, man.
What's up?
That just gave me working at a restaurant.
Anxiety?
PTSD, yeah.
Here's this.
Is the French toast good? I'm like, well, they use a brioche bread, so it really elevates it. And I like, anytime I walk away, I'm like, fuck you people for making me fucking talk like that.
Buddy, you feel bad about saying elevated? Check this out. How about after this, me and you take some dabs, get a little elevated. How sick is that? You like saying that instead of getting high?
I'm not supposed to hit the table, but...
Yeah.
God damn it, I'm in.
Let's get a little altitude in our life, Playboy.
Elevated. Yeah. I'm going to get altitude sickness. I'm puking everywhere, dude. Has it ever happened to you?
Altitude sickness?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Every time I've gone to Denver.
Oh, yeah, 1,000,000 times.
Every time I've gone... And my friend is like a big fucking... You know him, he's like... hikes these insane mountains
Fortnite
alone.
Friend?
Yeah.
That guy always stole my
Connor.
fucking loot.
Shout
I don't
out
fuck with
Connor.
that guy. No, don't say his name. I just said I don't fucking fuck with him.
I mean, he knows.
He knows I don't fuck with him?
I mean, only in Fortnite, because that was the only type of argument you guys have ever been in since you've never met in person was like, those were my rockets.
It's also so funny to be like, yeah, I don't fuck with your friend. He's been your friend for life, but he stole my mini shields in one game 3 years ago. I don't fuck with that guy.
But like the last 3 times I've been to Denver, I bailed morning of like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't feel good. I'm too high. And he's like, I'm about to go climb a mountain. And I always felt bad, but...
Dude, we always got... People would come visit me when I went to Boulder and be like, hey, by the way, there's altitude here. When you drink, 2 beers is 1 beer. Make sure you drink water, and let's just maybe take the first night off, drink a bunch of water, watch a movie. Be like, don't be a fucking pussy.
Yep.
And then 3 hours later, they'd be fucking blackout off of 3 Bud Lights because it's actually 6 drinks. I think that's why I try to drink... I think that's why sometimes I think that I can drink more than I can.
Because when you've trained in higher altitude.
It's like people that train in Kenya.
Yeah.
It's like people that train in Kenya. But now I don't have the altitude, so my blood's not flowing as fast.
It's so funny how also the people that train in Kenya are just like super skinny, elite running athletes, and you're just a fat guy getting drunk. You're like, it's the same type of training.
My training has a lot more Sailor Jerry's and Coors Light, admittedly.
They're like, did you get back from basic training? What do you mean? Basically, I was drinking a 30 rack a night, but I only had to have 10.
Dude, that was another thing. When we were in Colorado, they have 3.2 beer there. The only beer you can buy at gas stations is only 3.2%. So there was a
couple parties where we were like day drinking, like, dude, I'm not even fucking drunk right now.
Yeah.
And then someone was like, this is 3.2 ABV. It was like, oh, fuck.
I wasted calories. Yeah, I'm a little
Insane.
bitch when it comes to altitude. Flying?
Flying?
Can't fly. I
Okay.
get so fucking anxious.
Real quick, speaking of landing the plane, pal, we got a minute left. We got to get the plugs in. I know
I'm
that
at
you want
Tight
to talk.
Ship tomorrow.
There it
What's the
is,
date?
brother.
What date is it today?
Today's Wednesday. Today is the 21st.
So I'm at Tight Ship the 22nd. One of the best shows in Chicago. South Loop. What is it? Do you remember the
Yeah, it's half sour.
half sour? Thank you.
I'm glad that I'm plugging
Fucking
shows
rocks.
that I'm not on.
I'll be hosting, so you'll just see me progressively get drunker throughout the night as I bring up each comic. So come on out. There was one last time I hosted this show. A lady's tooth fell out.
Fuck yeah. That's
Have you
cool.
heard this story?
No, I haven't.
Craziest thing ever. She came up to me when I went to get a drink after, and she was like, she walked up and she was weird. She was talking through the entire show, and she was like, "Oh, are you open?" I'm like, "Open? Sure." And then she took that. I didn't know what it meant, so I just wanted to see
You're
where
just
it
like,
was
yeah,
going.
gay guys are cool. What?
She
Like,
meant
what do you mean
open to advice? And she was like, "It
Oh.
makes you look nervous when you tap your foot on stage."
I agree with that.
Well, you're about to get your fucking tooth knocked out too. Shut the fuck up. And she just kept getting more weight. And she was there celebrating a promotion with her friend. And then she was sitting at like a bar stool, and she went to laugh and like threw herself forward and flung herself out of the bar stool. And like, you've seen Tight Ship. The floors down there are
Tight.
tight and hard and concrete.
Yeah.
And then Pat Bolduck was on stage, and it was literally right, and he was just like, "Oh, fuck." And he's like, "Are you good?" And he's like, "Oh, no, someone's gotta get her out of here." And she's like, "Oh my God," and her tooth is out. And she starts walking, and then she grabs a pint glass and just spits blood into it like a fucking like boxer that
Yeah,
just
she
got
a
out of a
fucking
ring.
hockey player?
Dude, it was
Jesus
crazy.
Christ. Okay.
They come back in looking for the tooth, and Pat's like, "That's not gonna do anything. You guys should just leave." And they left. It was the most insane shit ever. Great episode today, man.
By the way, I'm very glad that I stopped you from telling a story about flight so we could do
tell
the
a different
plugs.
story. It's a better
Yeah,
story.
you just told a different one.
better story.
And if you want to see our guest, Sam Miller, if you're listening today on the 21st, the Wednesday this comes out, he'll be in Janesville, Wisconsin tonight, Humboldt Jungle in Chicago tomorrow. And then this weekend, the 23rd and the 24th, Friday and Saturday at the Jukebox Comedy Club in Peoria. Thank you guys so much for listening to the Loose Toss podcast. Oh, real quick, you can find all this ticket info for Sam's shows at sammillercomedy.com. We did it.
Drip, drip.
Watch this drive. What was that voice?
Ciao, you beautiful bastards.
Good save.
I almost said bitch. I don't care. Bitch, 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 bitch.
You're a
bitch.
slippery bastard, aren't you? You're a real tricky bastard. Shut up, you fat bastard.
You big bastard.